So you can sit up on a bolster or a block, or even just sit, however you feel that you're going to be comfortable for a little while, because we're going to start this morning with a little bit of breath work. Okay, so a bit of pranayama, and then we're going to move down to the mat for some nice stretches. And the breath work that we do, I'd really like you to try and continue and focus on as we move through the asanas, so the poses. Yeah, so just trying to be mindful of just counting the breath. So the breath that we're going to do this morning is the alternate nostril breathing, just for a few rounds, and then we're actually going to do cooling breath. So we're doing 2 types of breath, and then as we get moving through into some of the postures, we're going to be counting the breath. So quite excuse me, quite breath focused class this morning. Okay, so I'd like you to just start with your hands wherever you feel comfortable, just making sure that you are in a nice comfortable seat, and that you're going to be able to maintain that position for a little while without any pain or discomfort in your hips or back. So as high as you need to be, so that your spine is nice and erect and your pelvis is in a neutral position. So we just really want to make sure that we are sitting on our sit bones, so we don't put any pressure on our back and we're not rounding. Yeah, so just growing up as tall as you can through the spine, shoulders away from the ears. And one full really nice inhale and one full exhale. And then just regulate your breath. Just closing your eyes if it feels okay, and inhaling through the nose, exhaling out through the nose, or if you are blocked or anything like that, obviously the mouth is always an option, but preferable through the nostrils. Just feel where the breath is going. You have that little gentle rise of the shoulders. We inflate into our belly, into our rib cage, and feeling it into our back as well, and into our chest. And then just feeling that 3-phase breath moving down again as you exhale. Maintain on your exhale. There isn't a slump in the body. So we stay tall. Inhale to grow even taller. Exhale to stay. And it's almost like with this breath, we are going to stay very connected with our body, just noticing any sensations of touch, sensations of movement of the ribs, the belly, the back. And it's almost like when you exhale, it's just like a big sigh of relief. I'm working on the exhale to just get rid of anything that's not going to serve you this morning, or anything that's bothering you. Think, it's just all going to go. So one more inhale and exhale, one more full round. And then keeping your eyes closed or open, we're going to work on alternate nostril breathing. So you're going to put your, I like to do this with my second finger and have my index finger on my forehead, or you can use your ring finger, whichever is going to work for you. So we want to be able to block off the nostrils, one side and then the other side. Okay, so sometimes it is quite nice to have the 2 first fingers just resting on your forehead, so you have the ring finger and the thumb free, so you can squash and squash. Okay, or sometimes it's nice to do it just with the finger floating. So just find your own way. But I'd like you to just try and close your eyes and stay very centered into the breath again. And we'll start by blocking off the left nostril and breathing in through the right. Closing the right and exhaling through the left. Inhale left. Block off, exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Last exhale on the right. Releasing the hands down to the lap. Keep your eyes closed. And just notice the rebound from the breaths. And then straight into cooling breath. So cooling breath is where we make a tube through the tongue. And you actually inhale through the mouth, through the tube of the tongue. Now, if you're not able to make a tube through the tongue, then just put the tongue onto the roof of the mouth and make a little gap. Okay, so it'll be inhale in through the tube and then exhale out just normally. Okay, so obviously it's difficult for me to talk and do this at the same time. So hopefully you can hear my breath. So making a tube and then inhaling. Inhale. 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 Last one. And then back to normal Ujjayi breath. We're just going to count the breath now for 3 rounds. So inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go straight into 8. So exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't worry if you're faster than me. Inhale for 4. Inhale 4. Exhale 8. And now we're going to bring ourselves over into a child's pose. And I'd like you to really try and continue with that 4-8 pattern as we begin to move into some still postures today. So bring yourself over to a child's pose and continuing with that 4-8 pattern. And every time you inhale, inflate into the back.
And exhale and just let everything sink down. So be really, really, really passive. About 3 full rounds of breath in each posture. The last exhale. Inhaling and just moving yourself up to a tabletop. A few cat-cows just to release any tension, bring some movement into the spine. Try and be very mindful with your breath this morning. Really working on that lovely ujjayi breath. Not worrying too much about the count of 4-8 as we just take these little movements in between. And then drawing one leg forwards on an inhale. And I'm actually going to get you to either elbow on the knee lizard. So you might need to pad the back leg out. Or if you can, it'll be fingers down. Obviously, I appreciate we're not that warm. So fingers down on the floor, knee just knocked out to the side. If you are more flexible, you may be able to get your elbows down, but please remember that we're not warm. Okay, so just choosing a position that's right for you, and that might even be with the elbow just resting on the knee. So we want a little bit of support, but a little bit of passiveness as well. So just 3 rounds of breath here. Inhaling for 4. And exhale 8. Inhale for 4. And exhale for 8. Last one. And exhale 8. Moving from here straight into pigeon. So this can be supported pigeon or just more of a seat. And before we move fully into our pigeon, we're just going to add some little movements just forwards and backwards in this deer pose. So with the back leg sort of bent, just moving around, getting open, a bit more open through the hips. Yeah, and just feeling that movement. And then taking a little bit of time to get into your pigeon. So you might choose to stay up in this sort of 90-90 seat. You might choose to come over in that pigeon. You might choose to stay tall. And wherever you choose for your pigeon, there's no pressure in the knee. Again, we're going to take 3 full rounds of breath here, working on that 4-8 breath. So when you're settled, start to inhale for 4. And exhale. Really using your exhales to let go of the muscles, let go of the tension anywhere. And just really releasing into these stretches this morning. So you're probably on your second inhale or second exhale, maybe. The last one. And then slowly just coming out and giving your legs a little bit of a wiper. So that could be just in a seat from side to side. You might lie on your back. Yeah, so just getting those hips moving.
And then we're going to move to the lizard on the other leg. So just stepping forwards, the back knee is down. You might need to pad it out. And again, you can just have the elbow onto the knee for a little bit of support. Okay, you might have the hands down onto the mat. You might have hands on your block, or you might be able to get elbows down. And you may choose to just push the knee out slightly. So whichever's going to work for you. And then once you're settled, really focusing on how this posture feels and working on the breath. So I'd like you to use your breath to overcome the discomfort, a little bit like we do in Yin. Staying very present with your sensations. But all the time, that 4-8 breath pattern is what we're looking for. So your last full exhale. Inhaling, starting to walk that foot across. So getting prepared for your pigeon, but in a little bit of a pigeon seat to start with. And then just moving around and feeling how the body's responding to this position. Yeah, never forcing anything, knowing that, you know, one side is always different to the other, and being mindful of any injuries, any restrictions, and using your props where you need to, and then taking some time to find your pigeon pose, where it's going to give you the best feelings for you this morning, knowing that it's okay to stay sitting up tall. And then finding that 4-8 breath pattern once again. So starting to take that inhale. And then as you take your next inhale, slowly walking yourself over and up, and then bringing that little bit of movement into the hips. Once again, just moving from side to side, either lying on your back or even sitting up. And then our next pose, we're going to stay sitting tall, and chances are you'll need a block for this one, just to pop underneath your bottom or a bolster, or I'm going to use my half moon to just elevate through my bottom. So we're going to do seated forward fold, and this could be, if you do ever go to Yin, this is known as caterpillar. So we're just going to maintain that our spine stays nice and long and our knees are lifted where we're sitting on something, excuse me. So just want to be mindful that we don't put any pressure down onto the backs of our knees. Okay, so sitting up tall could be enough. Otherwise, just very slowly making sure there's no pressure through the back. Just walking the fingers forwards. Yeah. And without pulling, you're just going to find
where is going to give you that good stretch without it being painful. And then inhaling for 4. And exhaling for 8. Last full exhale. Inhaling, walking up. And a choice here. So you'll either just sit in a easy pose, cross leg, and then walk the hands forwards. So it's quite nice to stay on a prop for this one. Otherwise, we'll come to sort of half lotus. Yeah. So we'll bring the foot up onto the thigh and just making sure that that's nice and comfortable. Otherwise, just stay in a seat and only do the forward fold bit if it's going to feel okay. Yeah. So we might just choose to lean forwards a little bit, or we might choose to walk forwards. So it's going to be wherever's going to work for you. Maybe your elbows come down, maybe you reach. And just choosing that position, take a little bit of time, making sure that you're feeling okay. And then start that breath, that 4-8. Last full round. Inhale to walk yourself up. And then seeing if you can keep your legs where you are and just going into a twist. And if you are into this sort of half lotus position, you might be able to take the bind and reach the foot. Okay, so when you twist, this hand might be able to come around and reach the toe. It all depends how flexible you are. Okay, yeah. So all we want to do is find that we get into the twist. So you're going to twist away from the front foot. So twisting away from the front foot. Yeah, so the hand's going to come outside of the front thigh, and you're going to twist around and help that movement round by really pulling that hand across. If you're not sitting on something, you could put your hand behind you. And if you want to, you can even reach around and pull the hand round a little bit. Okay, it will give you more of a openness through the shoulder. And if you can reach that foot, no, not for me. Okay, you can reach that foot. And then just starting your breath. So this is passive through the legs, but the upper body is actually quite active. So you're trying to pull around. One more full round.
And then inhaling, coming round to center and exchanging the cross of the legs. So again, it could be that you're just sat in that easy pose and this is enough, staying tall, in which case have the hands wherever is going to work for you, either on the thighs or we take that more of a half lotusy sort of position, and then add the fold if that's going to be good for you. And then when you're comfortable in that position, so remember it's being comfortable, uncomfortable. So there's a little bit of discomfort, but no pain, just that sensation of stretch, and then beginning that breath again. Slowly walking yourself up on that next inhale, and then coming into that twist. So remember, you're turning away from the underneath leg. Yep. Sorry, you're turning towards the underneath foot. Yep. And then wrapping around, you might choose to hold the hand and just pull around, or having the hand on the thigh and pulling you around like that. Or if you can reach the foot, see if you can reach the foot sort of this side, but it's going to be too strong, so not for me. Yeah. And then just enjoying that twist, but passive through the low body, active through the upper body. It's almost like you inhale to grow a little bit taller and exhale to twist just a weeny bit further. And then inhaling, slowly unpeel. Take yourself back to the center. Uncross those legs. Just let your legs come out long and give them a little bit of a shake and a wobble. Getting movement back into your hips. And then making your way down on your back, or staying in a seat if you choose to end your practice like that. Laying down on your back, maybe your legs are long, maybe you have knees bent, knees together. And then I'd like, if you wish, to continue that 4-8 breath. And every time you exhale, this is going to be your letting go. Melting your body to the mat.
One more full round. Please stay for longer if you have more time, or when you're ready. Begin to move and roll yourself over. Please use your hands, sitting up slowly. Taking a moment to just blink your eyes open if you've had your eyes closed for the whole practice. Just letting that light come in. And then reaching the arms up, one big inhale. And exhale for 8. And namaste. Have a really lovely day. Thank you for joining. The power of the breath is truly the best thing ever, and it's 100% free.